Hi bag makers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm with Sew Yours. In today's video, we're gonna go ahead and hack the tag-along pattern and morph it with the itty bitty bowler pattern. Both of these sewing patterns are available on my website at sewyours.com. So go ahead and purchase your patterns and follow along if you'd like to go ahead and do this hack. So let me go ahead and show you what the tag-along bag looks like. So this is style B of the tag-along bag, and this is the purse version. We also offer style A, which is a water bottle version. So this is a vertical sitting bag. What I have gone ahead and done is I went ahead and simplified the pattern and turned it so that it's horizontal. So we get a completely different bag when we go ahead and flip the bag and make a few little changes. And it's actually a quicker sew, so it's quite fun to make. This is the first one that I made, and I did this one without the slip pocket on the back. And then this was the second one that I made, and I decided to go ahead and add that slip pocket for my cell phone, which is perfect. So I'm just gonna do a quick rundown on the changes that I made for this particular bag. That way, if you wanna go ahead and create your own modified tag-along morphed with the itty bitty bowler pattern, you guys can go ahead and purchase both of those patterns, follow along with today's video, and then share your completed bags in our Facebook group. We'd love to see what you created. Let's take a quick look at the tag-along bag style B, which is the purse version, as written in the pattern. On the front exterior, we have a flap with a slip pocket behind it. On that flap, we have a zipper pocket as well. On the reverse side, we have a slip pocket. We've got a handle with D-rings attached to attach our crossbody strap. We have our zipper located on the very back exterior of the bag. We have a simple slip pocket inside. The itty bitty bowler bag, all we took from the itty bitty bowler bag pattern was the measurements found on the cutting guide for the strap connectors right here. In addition, we grabbed the measurements found on the cutting guide for the card slots, card slot back, card slot interfacing, to create the 6 credit card slots with a slip pocket behind it for some cash or some receipts. So that's all we took from the itty bitty bowler bag. Let's take a look at the modified versions. So this one right here was the first one I created, and this was the second. So on the first one, I simply just did pattern piece A. I took it from being a vertical pattern piece and cut my fabric horizontally to create the horizontal bag right here. So I cut 2 exterior and 2 lining of pattern piece A on the tag-along bag. On this version, I wanted a slip pocket for the back exterior. So all I did for that is I grabbed pattern piece A, which is right here. I measured down 1 3/4 of an inch, folded that pattern piece. I cut 1 exterior, 1 lining, and I also cut some interfacing. I used foam for both of these, but you can also use Deca-Volite. I trimmed down the foam to make sure that it was outside of my seam allowance to create my slip pocket here. You could add a magnetic snap if you wanted, but I didn't think it was necessary. I just wanted a quick pocket right here to drop in my cell phone whenever I wanted to. All right, so that's the exterior and the lining changes. So much quicker to sew our exterior on this version than on the original version because we don't have all these extra parts that we have to put together. Okay, so for the gusset, you want to keep the measurements the same for the gusset on the tag-along pattern. So go with what's written on the cutting guide for your gusset. Your zipper panel, you do want to make a change to, and that is because we are changing the location of our zipper from the back exterior to the center. And in order to get the zipper panel and the gusset to line up evenly, we need to go ahead and increase the width of our zipper panel found on the cutting guide in the tag-along pattern to 4 inches, but go ahead and cut it the same exact length as written in the cutting guide. Once you go ahead and cut it to 4 inches wide by the length in the pattern, you want to go ahead then and cut that 4-inch wide piece down into 2 2-inch wide pieces to create the 2 pieces right here on the bag. You're going to go ahead and sew with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance along the zipper on both sides right here. Another thing to point out as far as seam allowances go is the changes that I made. I believe in the tag-along pattern is to attach the front and back exteriors. We do a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and that is basically because we have the zipper right along the edge right here. But I prefer to use a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance in my patterns when I'm doing attaching my front and back panels. So I did increase the seam allowance to attach the front exterior and the back exterior on this bag to 3/8 of an inch. So I did want to point that out. Let's see. So we've got the gusset, we've got the zipper panel. I'm looking at my notes right now. Our binding. We want to go ahead and use the measurements found in the cutting guide for our binding on the tag-along pattern. Let's see. We also are going to use the measurements for our gusset stabilizer and our zipper panel stabilizer found in the cutting guide. The only difference would be you would also go ahead with your stabilizer and cut that into 2 pieces. Now, I did not use stabilizer on either of these bags for my gusset or my zipper panels. My vinyl was rather thick. I didn't think it was necessary, so I omitted that in mine. Let's see here. I did go ahead and create my own zipper overlay and pocket on the inside right here. I will quickly tell you the measurements of this. This is 7 inches wide by 1 3/4 of an inch high. And then the opening right here is 1/2 of an inch wide. So you can create your own if you'd like for that. And then the pocket itself is 7 inches wide by 10 inches long. And then I just fold that pocket. So if you need any help with creating a zipper overlay and a zipper pocket, I did recently do a video on my Curvy Pocket Pal. So you can find those instructions in that video. I'll put a link in the description box below. But that's pretty standard. If you've made any bag before with an overlay, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this one if that's the way you want to do it. Alternatively, you could actually go ahead, and I think it would work, yeah, on the itty bitty bowler bag. If you want to create your pocket just like this one without an overlay, you can follow the instructions on the itty bitty bowler bag and also use the measurements found on the itty bitty bowler bag to create a pocket, whether that be on the exterior back if you want or the lining. It's completely up to you. You make it your own, do what you want with the bag. This is the way that I chose to go ahead and make them. And then lastly, like I already mentioned, I pulled the card slot measurements from the itty bitty bowler to add a card slots, I should say, to my lining right there. So those are all the changes that I made to create this version. I added a tassel on this one. All of the hardware that you see on these bags are available on my website at sewyours.com. The zipper tape, I do carry a zipper tape on my website, but these 2 particular colors are not from my website. This is from my stash that I've had for quite some time. I don't remember where I got it from. But we do sell zipper tape, number 5 zipper tape right now, if you guys need any zipper tape. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. One other thing to point out is I did do the quilting on the vinyl myself. This is brand new. I've never done this before, and I think I'm kind of addicted to it now. I really like how it elevates the look of a plain bag. So I started off with this one to do a diagonal, and I spaced these 1 inch wide when I did that. Then I kind of just winged it on this one, and I kind of started off with doing the 1 inch wide spacing. I believe I went ahead and started off with these 2, and then I went with these 2 lines. And then I kind of just wung it, like I said, and went ahead and started doing this where I stopped the stitching right here and mirrored it over here, and then I did a V. So you could do your quilting however you want. You could do curly cues and just do it really organically, however you want to do it. I did the same concept on this slip pocket here, but then I just went with a vertical 1 inch wide stitching here on that back panel. So have fun with quilting vinyl. I think you're going to find that you really love it. In order to get the quilted look, I recommend using a foam stabilizer behind your vinyl fabric. That way it gives that puffy look to it rather than using Decavo Light as your stabilizer. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments box below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.